Good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's webinar. For those who don't recognise my voice, it's Mike that's doing today's session, and on the live chat we do have Ollie as well. So if you've got any questions throughout today's session, Ollie will be at hand to answer anything, and we will also be hanging around for a little bit at the end for any further questions. So it should be a short webinar today, and what we'll be going through is how you can import your order pads. Now your order pads, there's many uses for them, and getting them actually set up and into your customers' sort of account can be quite a task, especially if it's quite a big order pad or favourites list that they may have. So what we've come up with on the control panel is basically a method to import the order pads, which will make your life a lot easier, especially when you're trying to set up sort of new customers to go live on the web store, to start ordering, as well as managing existing customers. So what we'll be going through is basically how you can download the template, how you can upload it, different ways of managing it, and it should, as I say, it should be a short session. So starting off, if you log into the control panel, so if you're a PrimaGO customer, you'll have access to a PrimaGO control panel. And if you go into the control panel and go into customers and then order pads on the left hand side, within here you have basically all of your order pads lists. So you can see sort of in the test account that we've got set up here, there's a number of different order pads, and basically we can add to that. At the very top you've got two orange buttons, which is basically the option to download the template. So the template, it's a nice easy template. There's only 3 columns, if I just show you here, which is the account code, the pad name, and the item code. So all you need to do is populate obviously all the different lines with the account codes, all your different lines with basically the pad name, if you're going to be putting into one sort of order pad, and then the different items within this column here. Now what I would advise is that when you are importing this, make sure that your item codes match sort of it's case sensitive, so if you've got any letters in there, make sure the capitals, make sure it matches basically exactly what you've got set up in Prima, otherwise it may fail to import. Once you've got your file, save it as a CSV, doesn't matter on the name, file save as CSV, and come back to your order pad section of the control panel. Once you're in this section, you've got the option to upload CSV, so you would highlight this little button, you would browse for your file, and basically once the file's been browsed for, it'll automatically pick that up and it'll attempt to import. So it may take a couple of minutes depending on how many items you've got in there, but what will happen basically after that is at the very top here, just above where it says order pad list, if there are any failures, it will pop up with a number of lines were not able to be matched, and it will allow you to download an export of unmatched items. So unmatched items, this could be any reason for them. The item's not ticked to be web enabled, the item code doesn't exist, a few different variants like that. So at the minute it doesn't show the reason as to why, so it's a bit of a guessing game, but you know, if you could be able to tell if the item code doesn't exist or if it's web enabled, you can just do a quick search, and we are looking to add functionality into this section to give you a reason and help you out a little bit if there are any errors, but it should be few and far between, and basically you can deal with them afterwards. That's how you can basically upload the CSV. Now a lot of the time that you may be doing this, it may be a case that you're looking to just renew an order pad, or there's another customer that wants the same items. Now it may not always be the case that importing a new order pad is basically the relevant thing to do. What you can do through the control panel is you can copy an order pad. So if you just highlight one of the relevant sort of order pads you want to copy, the very bottom where you've got the copy button, and here you can basically search for you can put in the order pad name, so new order pad, you can search for the relevant company. So if we just put this against Mike Stationery, you can select the specific contact to assign it against, as well as a cost centre. If you hit save, that'll copy and create a new order pad. It's as simple as that. So the order pad's been copied, and we'll have down the very bottom, we'll have a new order pad. Where is it? down here, new order pad. So it's that easy just to copy an order pad. So it may be in some cases that you need to import a new one using the upload button at the very top, using this template, or you can easily copy it through that way. And as soon as you've done that, it will appear within the back office as well. So if you are using scheduled orders, which is another webinar that we've done previously, then you can easily set it up from there. So there's multiple different ways to manage the order pads, but this is how you can import them sort of very quickly. As I say, very quick session. If you do have questions about the order pad import, please ask sort of myself or Ollie in the live chat. We'll be sticking around for a little bit. But apart from that, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.